Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 3 of Avorion. Today, we're going to make our ship better, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be saying that a lot. But that's just how it is. The last episode, we stopped at making the ship a little bit bigger, which ended up with us requiring more crew. The only problem is we start off with a very limited amount of resources in terms of credits, and hiring crew does cost credits. Ow. So this is actually one of the reasons why I disable collision damage. The game just started me off at a weird angle, and I bumped the station with a ship, so if I still had the collision damage enabled, the ship would be very damaged at this point. So, first things first, I want to go and grab a little bit more iron. Now that we have a ship like this, it is going to be a little bit easier to do, because I can cover a little bit more ground. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. The mining turret we currently have on the ship is actually pretty much the same as on our drone. It's just that the efficiency rating on it is a little bit better. So, what we can do is we can press T to exit the ship. We're going to... Yeah, by the way, this is how big the ship is in comparison to our little drone here. And so, since I bought the ship with a captain, I can tell the ship to, hey, go mine. And it's just going to do exactly that. There we go. Now, as my ship is going to do that, I can actually move on to this place and start doing it myself. So there's a little bit of a problem. The obvious question here is what stops me from just mining out this system and making a huge ship? Well, every single tier of material, so the first one is iron, then you have titanium, etc., etc., they build different types of systems. Iron is the most simple, and the ship has internal systems that it creates that require upgrading it the bigger your ship is. So in our case, it's the energy generator. The energy generator is the part that produces energy, and it's the excess of this production that allows us to recharge our core. So in other words, the more things I put on that ship, the less of a chance that they are going to be supplied. When you make a ship, it starts off with a 500-something generator, I think, and we are going to hit that limit very soon. So as you can see, we're already up to 2,000 once more. And now we can fix the issue with the crew. Let's go into build mode. Let's go to our building inventory, and we're going to select the crew iron quarters. These blocks have different textures, and I think I want my crew cabin to be kind of like over here. We can actually see how many crew quarters does this thing add. As you can see, in our case, it's going to add 11 more crew quarters. But, at the same time, please notice that it's actually going to require more energy to run. Your generated energy right now is 500 megawatts, and the ship as it is right now, it's currently using up 280. So, by placing down the crew quarters on the ship like this, it's going to increase that, and we are actually going to see it in a moment. Yeah, there we go. You remember how we started off with the amount of energy produced and used over here? Well, now we're already using more than half of that energy. As you can see, I'm not actually aiming at that thing, because this is one of the turrets that allows you to have it kind of auto-mine things, and that's very neat. I'm just going to help hurry this whole process along a little bit. And the idea here is that now we want to find titanium. Titanium, at this point in the game, is very scarce. If we open up at the map and look at the whole galaxy sector again, the idea is that it has sort of layers. The closer to the center of the galaxy, the rarer the minerals, so you will find Avorion here and you find iron here. As we grow closer, we're going to slowly start entering the titanium belt, and so on and so forth. So, let's actually take a look around, zoom all the way out, and basically just take a look where we are in terms of things. This is a very easy way how to scan your surroundings. It's basically just a visual scan. You don't really need any effort in looking around like this. The thing I'm currently looking for is either a claimable asteroid, which is going to give us the chance to sell it to the... whatever these guys are. The Soseid. Oh, that's an interesting name. And it's also going to let us purchase things. Right now, I do not see any claimable asteroids, which leaves us with only one hope, that this place has some titanium. And usually, the starting system should start us off with like one tiny rock. What I'm just doing right now is just a visual scan of the area. There's no danger in the system. It's a starting system. Zoom out a little bit more. Let's take a look at this place. Oh, there it is. This white asteroid over here, that is titanium. It's 37,000 meters away. So let's go. You will notice that my engines, if I'm doing the afterburner, they are actually going to very quickly drain my energy reserves, and that's because you start off with that default power generation, and the only way to expand it is by creating blocks that are generators. The only problem is that iron doesn't have that block. That block only appears from titanium and up. Okay, let's stop. You'll notice my energy is still falling, and that's because the engines, even though I stopped, are still consuming the energy because I was doing the afterburner thing so very, you know, for such a long time. Well, it's going to give me the saying that, oh, your ship is using more energy than it can produce, and that your engine is using up all of your energy. There we go. We just returned to normal in terms of power usage, so my ship's power core can recharge again. There is a risk that you can run out of core, and basically you are going to be stuck. That's not going to be happening to us because we have the ability to change, to uncheck and disable certain systems allowed to recharge, but it gets a little bit micromanaging. Oh, I actually think I do see a claimable asteroid. Very good. So, titanium produces two things that I currently need. One is the generator, of course, but the second is an integrity field. You see, the way that the game works, it assigns HP to your ship depending on how much mass and how big it is. But every single block has its own amount of HP. The problem with that is that the smaller the block, the less sturdy it is. You need to provide it with some sort of integrity field to keep your ship together. The integrity field, of course, drains energy, but with this big of a chunk, we should be able to create both. There we go, almost 1,000. Right, so we're going to enter the ship and go into our building settings. And now we are going to do something special. Because this is going to be our main ship. This is going to be the ship that we keep upgrading. But I want a ship like this that I can leave behind and have it mine. So I'm going to go to Save Designs and open up my ship autosaves. This thing is going to have a lot of ships from my previous attempts at this game, but I'm going to save this design as its new thing. There we go. And it's going to save it. The only thing that it's not going to save is its turret placement and its subsystems, but we don't need that. Instead, we are going to make this thing a little bit better. If we scroll down a little bit, we are going to enter our titanium, and you'll quickly notice that the bigger the technology is, the more things you can make out of it. So, for example, this thing had torpedo storages and solar panels, which we could use, but I have issues with those because they're very bulky. So, titanium also has an energy container, which basically makes our battery larger. It has a titanium generator, which we, by the way, need, and we also have the integrity field generator. So we're going to start off with these things. Now, thankfully, titanium integrity field generators are cheap. You don't need specific sizes. You place them in key components and key spots of the ship like this. Let's find a good place to put it in. And everything that it paints blue, like this, is going to be within the integrity field, and is going to have its hit points increased. And the idea here is to simply cover as much of the ship as possible. And there we go. The only thing that it's never going to cover is the guns. The guns will fall off if they take damage, but the gun itself is never destroyed. It's just going to end up in your inventory again, so don't worry about that. Now, we are going to notice that we don't really have a lot of credits, and we're going to fix that in a moment. So now our ship is a little bit more sturdy, and now we're going to go pay a visit to that huge asteroid over there. So asteroids like this have valuable resources inside of them, but we don't really need to get them. We are too far down the technology tree to do that. So instead... Oh yeah, by the way, notice that you can actually see how the energy kind of spikes around. You know what? I want to make this ship look pretty. Let's actually stop there for a moment. Let's choose a color. Let's paint it nice and something that is similar to the color we already have. And something that is a little bit more visible. Of course, the amount of detail you can actually do with these ships is, you know, quite big. So, for example, if I wanted to actually make this thing into a more of a ship, I can actually, well, not a titanium glow. Let's do with a iron glow. It's kind of like a cockpit sort of thing. That might be a little bit too much, I think. I don't know, I like it. Just made our ship a little bit more heavy, though. Eh. I don't know, I like it. I guess it looks kind of silly, but, you know, I was going to make a cockpit glass, not a thing. Okay, so if you delete a block, you'll actually get the stuff back, like this, both in terms of credits and whatever you spent. So that's cool. If you fuck up, you can, you know, do the thing. Oh, there we go. Iron glass. That's what we need. Boom. Oh, it is just actual glass. Okay. Screw it. I can actually make this thing even smaller if I want very fine lines. Transform blocks. Entire ship. Scale steps 0.5. I can actually improve that. Make very tiny lines like this. There we go. This looks rather silly, doesn't it? But that's sort of the fun of this. Whew. Let's put that scale step back a little bit. Yeah, I want some antennas and shit. Because I feel like it. They don't add anything. I just want them there. Yeah, the front needs one as well. No, the front needs bigger ones, like actual scanners and shit. Yeah, there we go. And we're already nearing almost an hour, so let's just get to that place real quick, and we can cut off the episode here. So, right now, with our limited resources, we can't really build a refinery on top of this thing, so it's easier for us to simply sell it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So first things first, we're going to claim it for ourselves. Oh, this thing already looks like a ship. Something straight out of the Star Wars. Once you're within range, you can interact with it and claim it. That's my turret automatically mining. We don't need that right now. And once you have claimed it, you can sell the asteroid to whoever is around. And I can sell this thing for 80,000 credits, and it's also going to make these people like us better. There we go. Now we have some extra credits. In the next episode, we're going to go back to that equipment vendor over there and buy some things to make our ship even better. Alright guys, thanks for attending, and I'll see you in the next episode.